We got two pieces of news to dive into today. First up, it looks like we're finally going to get our next Hasbro announcements and live stream. We have a Transformers Fan First Tuesday, they're calling it. Probably because they're sharing it with another brand from Hasbro, and that's why they don't want to call it a Transformer Tuesday. They're calling it a Fan First Tuesday. Sure, okay. Got to have a little bit of consistency with the marketing there, but I think they're doing everything on the fly. So, April 12th, 2022. This is according to Hasbro's Hasbro Pulse's Facebook page, that both Transformers and Power Rangers will have a whole bunch of announcements on their YouTube channel, April 12th, 2022, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to check that out. According to what they write here, it's a back-to-back Fan First Tuesday. It's going to have Transformers, hashtag more to meets the eye, blah, blah, blah. More phenomenal, blah, blah, blah. Power Rangers, hashtag blah, 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 which Power Ranger stuff will be at 12 o'clock. So it's going to be an hour of Transformers and an hour of Power Rangers. And then a whole bunch of hashtags. And of those hashtags, there's Legacy, pretty much. Lightning Collection for Power Rangers. Nothing that really indicates what it will be about. The images included is a Megatron head and a Jason the Red Ranger. Maybe we're going to get some Wave 2 Legacy. Maybe that Megatron head will show the core class G2 Megatron that we've heard about. Who knows? Who knows? But hopefully it'll be some new stuff that we have not learned about yet through all kinds of different means. And maybe we'll get something new. Maybe we'll get something new. Who knows? Who knows? Some people have even been speculating it might be a Power Rangers crossover thing, but I don't think so. I think they're just finding a free day to post these and two in the same day at once more than anything else. But who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe we'll get some Megazord Transformer crossover. But I really think it's just probably just them, getting two birds done with one stone, and not doing a Transformer Tuesday and just doing something that's a whole other deal. Next up, we have an interesting variant that is giving us flashbacks and a little bit of deja vu in a lot of ways. A Reddit user by the name of BioMike0402 recently picked up a Transformers Legacy Blaster and noticed that it had a different face sculpt than the one that we've been getting from Kingdom and a majority of the Legacy line up to this point of that Voyager class. The normal blaster release, both in Kingdom and Legacy, has had a very simple, stoic face. His has a little bit of a smirk on it. Now, this could be a running change. This could be something that maybe was intended for the Legacy versions completely, and it just never got rolled out, and now we're finally seeing them. Or this could potentially be a brand new head sculpt that's meant for a repaint later, and it just accidentally ended up on the figure. Now, how does that happen? Well, a majority of the time, a lot of times now, Transformers are planned with their repaints in advance. And if they are going to have a brand new head sculpt, it's a lot easier for when they plan these repaints very much in advance, that the head sculpt, the brand new head sculpt, is already on the sprue when it's manufactured in the factory. And it's a lot easier for them to remove the head sculpt that they're not going to use and throw it aside, and that plastic gets recycled afterwards. And they do that a lot. And the reason why I say this is giving us kind of deja vu is because a while back when we had our Kingdom Megatron, our leader class, in January of 2021, someone found a Kingdom Megatron with a grinning face on it as opposed to his normal stoic face. And the belief was, and I still believe it to this day, was that was supposed to be the variant face that was going to be used on the T-Rex Target exclusive Beast Machines Dinobots repaint. Just kind of matched, just made sense. And I mean, ultimately in the end, the T-Rex got released and it had the stoic face with silver paint on his lips, which in my opinion even confirmed it even more that it was intended for silver paint on teeth, and they just didn't put the right face. I think it was a giant manufacturing mistake. And ultimately in the end, the T-Rex that we got was just a giant mistake overall. And so I think that you have another situation here where we probably have a repaints head sculpt on the blaster here just a little early because one factory worker made a mistake. Take head that's on the left of the sprue, and they took the head that was on the right. And that's kind of what happened, and this one got out there. Now, who is that repaint? Well, we talked about it back in late March of last month when JT Prime 17 put out a whole bunch of EAN codes and a shipping date for the potential Wave 4 of Transformers Legacy that's supposed to come out the 1st of January of 2023. And on that listing, it had, repacks of Cheetor and Wheeljack, which was bizarre, the much expected Legacy Deluxe Stunticon Breakdown, which completes the Stunticons. And on that listing was a Legacy Voyager class Twincast, which is the new body repaint of Blaster. Anyone who watched the Japanese Headmaster series knows that Blaster at some point, spoiler for a 25-year-old animated Transformer series, but he dies in battle and then gets rebuilt as Twincast, a blue repaint of his original incarnation. So it's a possibility that maybe this smirking head sculpt could be the head sculpt meant for the Twincast repaint. But we will see. Much like how that grinning face on the Kingdom Megatron ended up never making it to the intended head sculpt, in my opinion. Maybe this might be the same thing here, too. It might be just a crazy one-off, and then we'll never see it done proper, although hopefully... I'd love to interview the people at Hasbro to find out what really happened with that Megatron. There's probably a big story there. But when it comes to the Legacy Blaster, this could be potentially just the Kingdom to the Legacy head sculpt change, or this could be a brand new head sculpt that's going to be used for the Twincast later. We will find out. Not much else is known outside of that, so hopefully we'll get more information as it pertains to that. And again, reminder, the April 12th, next week, is going to be that Transformer Tuesday. I don't know, I'm going to call it a Transformer Tuesday. Fan First Tuesday, but that's going to be next week, so be sure to stay tuned for that, and hopefully we'll learn about some new, I guess it's going to be Legacy product, probably Wave 2, and maybe some store-exclusive stuff. But stay tuned for that, and we'll learn more about that. And also, again, another reminder, and I mentioned it yesterday, the Toy Armada, the other podcast that I work on with Hasbro's Aaron Archer, episode 2 is of part 2 of the Transformers Armada segment is now out, and you can learn about the history of Unicron and the creation of the Transformers Armada brand and a whole bunch of stuff even outside of Transformers Armada that kind of reflected the brand and had long-term impacts in the long run going into the movie continuity and how the Supreme Price Point was handled, the marketing and everything like that. And a nice, interesting turning point in the Transformer world in the Brian Goldner era when he wanted to revamp the line for something much bigger. But stay tuned. We'll have more information for you, and check everything out on the podcast.